Hey guys, and welcome to another Destiny Council video. And today I'm joined by Brian.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're going to be looking at some gameplay here between actually Brian playing some Tarkin Sister on the left, and Andrew on the right with his good old Poe Hondo once again.
Yeah, this deck really intrigued me after playing out the regionals. I definitely wanted to put it together and see how it felt against some of the decks in the meta, specifically Poe Hondo.
Mm-hmm. It seems like an interesting matchup. In some sense, Poe Hondo could struggle against the indirect because it does lack just HP in
Mm-hmm.
general. Um, But at the same time, you also have relatively low HP on your characters, and the burst from Poe Hondo could cause an early death, and that early death with Tarkin on the board is rough because he wants all the dice for his ability.
Yeah, I could definitely see this game coming down to who gets that first kill, or if the game is close, I think it'll be more in the Tarkin favor. Whereas if like one guy kills a character, then you kill their character, then I think it's in the Tarkin favor. Otherwise, if it's like, Poe and Hondo left with, maybe Poe has like 4 health left, I think it could be hard for the Tarkin to close it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start this replay going. So, um, you guys are just, I believe you have done your mulligans. Just waiting for Andrew to draw his remaining cards. So if you get the roll off here, would you pick your battlefield or not?
I kind of thought about it for a little while. This is one matchup where I would consider taking my own battlefield because the Emperor's Throne Room can just be so like crazy damage. But then at the same time, this is like I said, all about who can get that first kill. And giving him 2 shields is just not good enough. So
Mm-hmm.
I decided to take shield here.
Mm-hmm. Probably the correct choice. As scary as Throne Room is, early game is just so important. We're going to see Andrew starting out with the X8. It's a pretty decent upgrade. I mean, gets him another dice without slowing his tempo at all, which is important for Throne Room. He wants to claim. Um, an interesting roll there. That doubled resource and the 3-for-1. I'll be curious to see if he actually resolves both resources. Resources can feel great, but at the same time, Hondo is typically giving you resources, so it's like that'd be a very low damage turn one. Almost no threat. And he does take them. Um, you, meanwhile, do have a what seems to be a very good starting hand.
Yeah, I think this deck has quite the good starting possibilities just because of how many upgrades it runs and how many zero cost upgrades you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Really, that's the goal. You get a bunch of dice into play, and you start doing Tarkin and doing damage.
Mm-hmm. And we do see that very early collateral damage come out. For those of you who don't know, it's basically resolve any number of your um, ranged or any number of your melee um, dice, and while also disrupting your opponent one, is obviously great in a Hondo deck that wants to do the damage early. Just resolving one of your Poe dice and removing that resource um, allows the early game burst to be that much more efficient. We're gonna see the doubt on the Hondo special. Um, Probably want like the 2 disruptor blank, and you get that blank there.
I mean, it's either, too special, the special side or bust,
Mm-hmm.
right?
See that was that a claim for Andrew there?
Yes, it was.
Which really leaves you open to almost whatever you want to. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose he probably just wanted to claim before you could resolve that Tarkin resource side um, to make sure he got that 3 damage through.
You know,
But now
an
you
early
get
force wave really, that's kind of what I was hoping to do is get it and put into play. Unfortunately, it's so that I can utilize the holocron die twice in one turn,
mm-hmm,
really get as much value out of the dice as possible. So right now I'm just looking for a bunch of damage and some symbols to match up here.
mm-hmm. You have those blank options. Curious. I think you probably want to resolve one of the other sides of the force wave. Um, but just gonna reroll. Looks like basically everything. Just keeping that melee out there.
Yeah, with the focus side available, I felt the chances are that I'll probably get something better than what I had out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Looks like I do get 2 blanks.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly what I was looking for though, in terms of the sides. I don't think I get hardly any damage.
Mm-hmm.
I get the resource on the force wave and the +1 resource. Um, Taking two resources is probably the best option there with those two dice, especially with two blank showing.
Mm-hmm.
So I go ahead and do four indirect, and then I believe I turn the sister dice to a two and take a shield.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even just in any Hondo matchup, having those extra resources early can help. Hopefully, deny the damage coming in next turn. Um, you're gonna go ahead and deal that other 2 damage right into Poe, so you're not giving into the trick of going for Hondo. You're just concerned about a second chance. Um,
I really just don't think Hondo can do anything once I kill Poe.
mm-hmm,
I'm just not going to spend resources, and I'm going to roll in dice and do indirect.
mm-hmm,
So it's really clear victory path for me. Although if he does start stacking a bunch of damage onto Hondo with indirect, then I can go in for like a force wave kill.
mm-hmm. We're gonna see that.
Friends in low places really hurts here. Getting that feel your anger.
Mm-hmm. Definitely was your hope for just a blowout turn here. You know, if he rolls anything poor,
Hmm.
um, it's just a one round. Um, you're gonna go ahead and drop that vibra knife onto the sister.
Yeah, I
Um,
felt like really keeps the tempo in my favor and gets one more die out there.
mm-hmm.
Hopefully, trying to get a kill on a character this turn.
Not the most impressive roll that you're looking for. Um, I'll be curious to see if you actually resolve that discard side. Discard is one of those sides that you never want to resolve, but you also never want resolved against you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Pretty decent roll there by Andrew. Not exactly what you'd like to see, but having both the special and the two focus option means that uh, he will likely be getting the sides that he wants this turn. We're going to see that spicy force wave special.
Mm-hmm.
But Andrew is going to go ahead and Rebel Assault it. That card is so good right now.
Yeah, that was pretty devastating for this turn.
Basically, all the top decks are running some sort of specials. Um, so just a zero cost removal with almost no drawback. It's
Yeah,
great.
I don't think many decks run Rebel Assault. It's quite
Mm-hmm.
under
Underutilized.
yeah, under I don't know. It's not in the meta as much as probably could be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna set up a three focus, I believe. Or no, I'm going for the discard side. Yeah, that's what I did here.
And you're gonna flip that. Curious to see. You can see the special or the focus just to use the passive off of the Dark Council and the Holocron. Um, Threatening that 2 discard here is great. Uh, Although, sadly, with that double focus out there on Poe, uh, not having the rerolls won't hurt as much, and having throne room in general. It's gonna roll out, hits that double disrupt and a disrupt. Um, Not exactly what we want to see. That double disrupt is gonna allow his other Hondo die, to be able to deal that free damage.
Yeah, I was not happy to see that double disrupt here. I was kind of holding on to these resources for Poe's specials, and now he's got an opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
deal 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I have to doubt the cunning die because it has the worst sides, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. Only one side really is bad. I guess focus would be bad too.
Mm-hmm. But you do get that removal out there. Andrew, having played Friends, knows that you have no removal, so you can, at least remaining, so he can pick exactly what he wants to resolve this turn. I'll be curious to see what he chooses. I see him disrupt 2 first. Um, so if I'm you, I'm thinking just try to use as many of my Seventh Sister die as quickly as possible. Um, but you're gonna go ahead and re-roll, and you hit some melee sides, so at least you'll be able to get some direct damage in here.
Yeah, I was not happy with all those jumbled sides out there
Mm-hmm.
before. Um, I'm gonna probably see where he puts this indirect damage and then decide where I go with the other dice.
He is threatening a 2 action kill here, but 2 actions will basically allow you to also resolve all of your dice. Um, not what you want to see, but not terrible either. So you're gonna go ahead and resolve that melee hitting Poe with it. The direct.
I'm pretty
Uh,
sure I was scared of impulsive right there. Um, if he impulsives the Hondo die and then kills Seventh Sister,
mm-hmm.
then I guess he had no cards, did
No, no cards.
he? Okay.
But I mean, it is. Um,
I guess it probably
didn't
wouldn't
probably
matter.
doesn't matter because Andrew knows that you targeted Poe last turn. Um, but maybe it is just a sequencing error that can be made at any time by any player. Um,
It's true. Yeah, so at this point, it's kind of one of those situations where I said earlier, where I didn't get the first kill, and he's got 4 health and 3 health left, so it's kind of low for Tarkin, but I only have 4 dice.
mm-hmm,
So it's gonna be difficult for me to secure that kill before he can start wailing on me.
mm-hmm,
Specifically, if he has stuff like BL-44, which I see one in his discard. Um, but if he has pretty much any removal, it's gonna be rough.
mm-hmm. Easy
So
pickings here could also just be nasty, which I think we can catch a glimpse of that. And a defensive position, so not looking good for you.
yeah, I definitely needed to play that Dark Council just to get one more die in there, so I could hopefully secure that Tarkin special this turn.
Mm-hmm. We do see a Scorched Earth in your hand, so potentially, if you can just get him low enough and somehow get the claim off, um, maybe even just an early claim on that Force Wave special might even be worth it. Um,
Yeah, I think we'll see that play come into a factor here. Unfortunately, having the special cost of resource, I think, is going to make or break this game here.
mhm. And you do see there multiple resources rolled, which would normally be fine with Tarkin, but Easy Pickings is kind of the Tarkin hater. It's like, oh, you rolled two of the same things, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of them.
Yeah, so really devastating, um, easy pickings there. Not only did it get rid of the force wave die, but it also got rid of the 2 matching
Mm-hmm.
sides for Darken's ability. So at this point, I feel like it's almost game over. Um, I need to resolve some dice to put the pressure on and probably just claim.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he can't deal, 11 damage this turn and try to win it next turn with a force wave rolling.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Force Wave is definitely scary, but it has been sad for you this game. 3 turns with it, never resolving the special. Uh, you are gonna resolve that 2 indirect there, and Andrew's just gonna toss it on to Hondo. I'm guessing he probably has second chance in his hand, although I can't quite see it. Um, we're gonna see some range damage result there. So you definitely have a chance, but I mean, being in an indirect deck can really suffer when you fall behind, as you said, because it can't then pick off that last character.
Mm-hmm.
It has to deal damage equally. So you're looking at all those dice staying on the board. Um,
Yeah, and this is where, if he does enough damage this turn, um, I don't know, I'm a little bit scared. I'm still sitting pretty kind of at this point. I'm feeling, I just roll in, claim, force wave, and but well, the problem is that Poe's on 4 left from kill, not
mm-hmm,
3.
mm-hmm,
If I was able to do that one more damage, I think this game would have turned out differently.
mm-hmm. Additionally, even just having that shield sitting there on Poe from that Poe special resolution, just pushing that one more damage away as well. Uh, see Hondo special at the end of there.
Yeah, re-rolling into that Hondo special really sucked.
Yeah, like, oh, I claim for throne room, but he's just gonna roll it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Still a little bit of a hope. I mean, Andrew does not have much health left. Um,
If I can kill Poe or Hondo before he does anything, then I possibly have a chance to just end it here.
you see that Andrew actually has emergency evac, but is one resource off of it, which would have ultimately just been a nail in the coffin. You're gonna roll out into a kind of an awkward roll. You don't
Yeah, I was
really have any matching sides there.
pretty upset that I did not get 2 matching sides. You know, that pretty much spells doom for me here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what Andrew does though.
I think if you have one thing going for you right now, it's that you can resolve that Tarkin resource and be able to both Scorched Earth and claim for that Force Wave special. Um, but even here, Scorched Earth isn't that great because he has 3 dice on each of his characters rather than a 5 die character, where he just rolls out and you're instantly like 5. Um,
Yeah, the possibility that I could have scorched earth basically died when he plays second chance here.
mm-hmm,
Um, I mean, he can just I mean, it won't. It'll probably kill Poe, but Hondo's sitting there with an extra 5 health now.
mm-hmm,
Um, so I'm just gonna try to discard his hand and hopefully survive another round.
mm-hmm.
There's not much else I can do. Maybe reroll, take a resource. Like you said, try to do Scorched Earth plus, um,
Force Wave.
yes. But, um,
Ouch.
yes. So my plan of waiting for him to roll out 2 characters and deal 6 indirect went down the drain as soon as he rolled all damage.
Mm-hmm. Really nothing you can do about that. You just, it happens in Destiny. Sometimes your opponent just rolls well. Um, you are sitting there with a Feel Your Anger in your hand, and it's like, why couldn't you have just missed?
Mm-hmm.
I need that one blank. Um,
So I believe I have a Force Illusion in hand as well.
mm-hmm,
And I think I'm going to override the Dark Council Blank just to survive longer. So immediately take 2 less, mill 2.
mm-hmm.
But then again, Scorched Earth is now not looking too great.
Yeah, you just gotta. I mean, yeah, interesting. I think I take that resource there, but instead you're gonna go for that 2 indirect. Um,
I really want to get another damage onto Poe so that I can finish him off this turn.
mm-hmm. Scorched Earth here would be really, really deadly. Five indirect. Actually, almost kills Poe because only one of that damage can be assigned to Hondo. With the second, HP rolls, all the damage is assigned at the same time, and you can only assign one to Hondo because he has 1 health remaining. So then, the second chance extra health can't apply, so the rest of that damage would have to go on Poe.
Yeah, I think looking back on it, you're probably right. Taking that resource and then playing Scorched Earth here and then claiming.
Might have actually been enough
Yeah.
with 5 dice, but hindsight's 2020. Never know. You're gonna see a Feel Your Anger come out. Actually, quite a powerful Feel Your Anger there with the 2 blanks. It's like villain's easy pickings, just less reliable. Only works on blanks. um, resource resolved by Andrew. Um, how many cards? He has 2 cards left. If I'm you here, do you just ugh? Feels so bad to claim for Force Wave though, because well, you just claim for Force Wave.
I think I'm. That's what I'm debating right here.
Because if Andrew gets the claim here, I don't think that you stand a chance. But if you claim here, you might just be dead anyways.
The
Uh,
problem is if I claim, I deal 1 to myself and put myself into just
as,
1 special away from dying.
mm-hmm.
I have to claim and not resolve here because of that reason.
It's going to disrupt you and just accept that the next turn is coming up. So I'm curious.
Because I agree, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think if I don't claim, I have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
The unfortunate thing is, like you said, he's been holding on to that emergency evacuation this whole game,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna just put the nail in the coffin right here.
It's nothing that can get around that. It's kind of one of those removal cards that's just not run by anyone. But
Yeah, I mean, we kind of go back and forth when we're testing for like events, and we're saying like yeah, we're playing against some cards that nobody's gonna run when we face them in the tournament. So is it like valid testing or is it
Mm-hmm.
not? I mean, at the same point, it does get you in the mindset of thinking of every possible option your opponent has. And then on the other hand, it does kind of skew some of the results of your matchups, maybe being a bit more favorable than it would have been
Mm-hmm.
or less favorable.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly kind of a rough situation for me. Um, and, you know, I'm guessing Andrew just has to survive this turn.
Mm-hmm. Scorched Earth comes out. Uh, Not gonna do enough though.
Yeah, him not having um, Poe down one more health. I mean, that turn where I could have force waved and killed him,
Mm-hmm.
killed Poe. It just, I could never get that one more damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's just one of those things where maybe if you resolve that Tarkin resource and just stay a little bit ahead of the curve, being able to you could have potentially um, just played that what is the Scorched Earth
Hmm.
and then played the Feel Your Anger later. Although he would have re-rolled again, so you don't know if he would have gotten off any removal, and then you could just potentially claim that turn, survive a little bit longer. But it's so hard in an indirect deck to come back from an early kill.
Yeah, I think my line was that, if I kill Poe about the same time he kills Sister, I can just survive against Hondo late. And what ended up happening is that he killed Sister, and I just didn't get quite enough damage on to Poe
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get that kill at the end with Force Wave.
Mm-hmm. Just that potentially that early turn one where you didn't get off the force wave, you resolved it as a resource. Um, but
The easy pickings,
mhm.
the next, you know, but yeah,
It's just one of those things where early 2-9 removal can really swing a game. Um, but yeah, I think it's an interesting matchup. I don't know that it necessarily favors Poe Hondo. But I mean, yeah, it's so hard for Poe Hondo to deal with the four indirect that Tarkin's putting out, just because it has so little HP. But at the same time, it feels bad that if you ever lose a character first, it's like, what do I do now?
yeah, and not being able to spend resources like a normal game against Poe Hondo really changes how you can play the deck.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly can't utilize, Force Wave as effectively just because that resource is really critical.
Mm-hmm.
And, you want to be playing one drop upgrades and one drop removals. And really, I was just able to do a little bit of each, not
Mm-hmm.
quite effectively. Um, yeah, overall, I didn't feel bad about the performance of the deck. Like I said, I had a lot of chances in that game, even though it felt like a pretty blowout game for Andrew. Like I never felt like completely out of it,
Mm-hmm.
even though it was a pretty dire situation most of the game. Like I said, if I was able to squeak out some more damage early, if he didn't have Rebel Assault or um, emergency evacuation, I don't know if the game would have turned out quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely it would be one of those things where I would suggest you guys at home taking the deck. We'll probably post it in the comments down below, and you can try it out yourself against Poe Hondo. Maybe not necessarily Andrew's brew, but what your locals are playing and see how it does. I'd like to see if it makes any difference. Those cards maybe swinging the matchup in your favor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I definitely think it's a great deck. Just the ability to spam the board with dice and make it feel like your opponent's removal is worthless is so strong. And if you ever do survive, uh, whether it be through a big feel your anger on turn two, having all the focus on the board there. If you I don't know if you run ancients in this version, but having like ancients and vibros on the board, resolving all the focus, hitting for like 8 um, can be nasty. Anytime that Tarkin 2 discard hits, it's really hard to deal with in any deck. If it's like, oh, well, there goes my removal, and it's a focus deck. It kind of has, I mean, harkening back to Awakenings, the Jabba Dooku feel, where if Jabba rolls that 2 discard, now you're able to just use all the focus from Jabba and
Yeah.
just get into like all the melee sides that you want. Um, So it definitely has that scary feeling between the number of dice and the discard sides. Uh, it's hard to mitigate. You just have to go out there and deal enough damage faster.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I saw in the regional when I played against it. I felt like, he was always discarding my removal cards, and once he did, it was kind of like, he would focus the Ancient, the Vibro, and all this, and deal 7 unblockable, and then deal 4 more indirect. It's pretty really good deck, and I think it definitely should be on your gauntlet list for testing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really liked it, and I'd definitely be playing it more.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions for decks you'd like to see played, go ahead and put them in the comments below. And like, subscribe, check out our website, destinycouncil.com. I know there are various links in the
Description down below.
yeah. See you guys.
Thanks for watching.